of marathon training. Run number 1 of the day is done. Now, looking back at the week 1 recap, like when I was editing it, I realised that I went into each run with like something negative. But so this week is going to be a bit more positivity. Next up is a yoga session, which I'm really looking forward to today. Second run of the day, and we're at my favourite lake, as James calls it, Thursden. Just been on the phone to him for like the last 4 miles. 2 miles to go. Been chatting about New York Marathon as the applications open literally in a couple of hours. So talking about accommodation, applying and all the stuff like that. I've got to get in first. But I do have a qualifying time. So I feel a lot better than I did this morning on this earlier run in terms of like hips and the groin area. But I have switched my physio appointment from Thursday to today. So we'll get it checked out then. Back home from my Tuesday session intervals. Now, I didn't really update you yesterday on what's been going on, but I think I mentioned it in video from week 1 training that I've been struggling with a bit of pain. So I changed my physio massage appointment, which was due on Thursday, and I moved it to yesterday evening. So I did my double run and then I went to the massage session, and I was kind of right in what I was thinking. It's muscular and basically got really, really tight adductors. So that's the inside of the leg. And I had a sports massage. It was very painful, and I've been doing my stretches, but it's just really not been helping sort of alleviate any of the pain. So today's session, the coach sent through the plan before we got there. I sent him a message back just to say that what had happened, and he basically said to drop down a group. So it was five 1 mile reps at sort of your target 10k pace. So the group I was meant to be in was 6:21 pace per mile, which I probably wouldn't have been able to hit at that point anyway. But the group that I dropped down to was 6:41 per mile, and haven't quite looked at my stats yet, but wasn't too close to that either. So I sort of averaged, I think, about 6:45 to 6:48 pace per one. So can't really work out if it's the leg that stopped me or the fact that I've had quite busy training last few days, but either way, I did try, and my leg's a little painful now, so the pain's sort of been driving down through to the quad. So bath tonight, stretch out, and then I've got a recovery run. Well, it's a mid-long run, but I'm going to take it nice and slow as a recovery. Coach has said that today would have been tough and that tomorrow's going to be even tougher, so looking forward to that. Say hello to YouTube. This is Harry. Lily. Lily. Oh, there she is. Hello, girl. It's early morning. I've already had one PT client and I have a gap now. So I've just been sat on the bike for the last sort of half an hour or so, and just sort of a leg loosener. Hopefully that it just alleviates anything from last night's session, and just means that hopefully my run is a bit smoother this afternoon. So a bit tight this morning, but I'm hoping that this is helping. It doesn't feel too bad on the bike, but the pain from the adductor was then feeding into my quad. So by the end of the session, during the cool down, oh, my quad was like on fire. So I've got another gap in between my next client and the client after that. So I will do I did some foam rolling last night before bed, and I'm going to do the same thing today, foam rolling and stretching. And yeah, fingers crossed everything will be okay for today's midline. Thursday is here. Now, yesterday was really good. Well, last night was fantastic core sessions, and it was quite funny because only about an hour and a half before the first session started, I was like so drained from my run. But the energy from the classes I get is just unbelievable. And then I went home, and rather than just sitting down, I sort of carried on pottering around and managed to get a few other tasks done before today. So I'm not really going to talk too much before this run. I'm just not going to preempt anything. I'm just going to go out and do it, and then I'll give you an update when I get back. I'll tell you what the session is now because I'm halfway through it. So I've done a mile warm up, and then the session today is 2 sets of 20 minutes at tempo. So the first set is done. Happy with the results. I had to push hard for the final few minutes of that set. I'm having a 3-minute recovery, which I'm assuming is almost over now, and then another set to do. Tough, but happy with the pacing, as I felt quite slow on my warm-up, but that's the whole point of it. So, session done, 2 sets of 20 minutes at tempo pace. Managed to get 5.85 miles in the 40 minutes, so I had to obviously round up to 6, but session done. Thanks, Lottie! So part run is finished with. Nice easy 5k, however my breathing was not allowing it to be an easy run, but that's just a foot block nose. Now heading up to the Peace Pagoda, so myself, a few other coaches from the running club are hosting some cross-country training, just in prep for the last match at Campbell Park. It's something that we've not offered for the club before, and I am currently doing my coaching course with England Athletics, so for me it's going to be some good experience today just to help all of the fellow club members out. So I've got a coffee, just walking up to the start area now for the training, and then heading up to the National Running Show after this.
So literally, you know how steep the roads are, so you know the Isle of Man, don't you? Yeah. Were you from the Isle of Man? Here I am with another YouTuber, and he actually does proper podcasts.
We are everywhere.
As you can see on here, on his hat, a runner's ramble. How you doing, mate?
I'm very well. How are you doing, young man?
I'm doing...
Boosts are making their first appearance. Christmas present from James. Got to remember that.
Ben and my co-race director Amy and everyone here at St Albans Riders, we hope that you have a great race today. Just to let anyone know who has run the course before, we are using the original 1-lap course today again.
Okay, Katie.
That's a good start.
Did very well. I'm very pleased with the result. It was a tough event, lots of hills, but the bonus is lots of downhills. I'm really pleased to say that I got a PB of 1 hour and 30 minutes and 9 seconds.
How was Fred Hughes today for you?
It was great. It's the first time I've done it, so I really enjoyed it. Weather was great. Lots of uphills, but loved the downhills. Did it in 1:35. It was my first 10-mile race.
Well done. Fabulous. You today, Naomi?
So it was the first time I've done Fred Hughes. Really enjoyed it. I was a little nervous because it was quite undulating, but really enjoyed it. And I have got a PB, so 1 hour 21, which is an 8-minute PB, so I was happy with that.
Woohoo! Superstar.
Done anything.
How was Fred Hughes for you today, Anna?
It was really good. There was no hills for me. I really enjoyed spectating, especially standing in the cold, and my highlight was having a coffee at McDonald's.
Back home now after the Fred Hughes 10, so just to wrap up this week, Today was a 10-mile race in St Albans. Did it last year. It was an absolute blizzard last year, and I did amazing. I was so happy with last year. I finished in 1:08.14. So going into today, I was a little sceptical because at the minute, with most of my targets, I'm just trying to beat last year. However, this week, as I've shown, I've had the little niggle in the adductor, and I could sort of feel it during the warm-up. But I tried to put that at the back of my mind. I've also been struggling before, like I've said, with cold and cough. But again, you know, I had to be positive going into this race, and I could only do the best that I could do. Quite a few other Redway runners and CCK team members were there today. So it spurred me on to think, come on, you know, do as you say, do as you preach kind of thing, and just do your best. So I thought, right, remove any pressure, because I seem to be performing well when I've removed any pressure recently. And I just thought, just take it steady. I did go a bit further back in the start pen, just so that I didn't get carried away. And overall, this course is not easy. It's quite up and down. So the downhills are fantastic. You're literally flying. You feel amazing. However, the uphills are obviously quite hard and you have to work hard up them. However, overall, I finished in 1 hour, 9 minutes and 13 seconds. So 59 seconds slower than last year. However, let's look at the positives. I'm not 100%. So the biggest thing that James has taught me is that if you're going to PB, everything has to be perfect. You know, your training leading up to that race, the race conditions, the course, and it wasn't a flat course. So how can I expect to go and run a 10-mile PB when all the conditions weren't there? So first few miles clocked, and I was going at sort of sub 7-minute miles. So I thought, okay, new challenge on. I might not be able to get 6:50 average, which was last year, but challenge yourself, keep with just under 7s. And that's what I did, and it meant that I was working hard throughout the race rather than just giving up and thinking, oh, I'm not as quick as last year, I'll keep working hard. Mile 6, like mile 5 to 6, has this tough uphill. Looks like you're running flat, and someone next to me was like, this is quite tough, isn't it? So it reconfirmed that it was. There was one last hill, I think about mile 8, which was really tough. And I was just like, come on, just power through. And I was kind of overtaking people towards the end. So that was a good, I wasn't really focusing on that actually. I was just focusing on me and my race. You become a mathematician when you're running. You're like working out, if I do this mile in this split, and then if I then run my last mile as my slowest, I still should be okay. So yeah, the goal was sub 70. I finished, and yeah, I'm happy. I'm not ecstatic, but I'm happy with where I am now. And the rest of Team CCK absolutely smashed it. Everyone did really good in terms of their targets, came on just in time or around that. So yeah, really good, really good overall effort from everyone. And we also then went to the Craft and Cleaver in St Albans for a for lunch afterwards, which was fab. So James heads up the restaurant in Milton Keynes, and the original one in St Albans, we went and checked it out. So it's the first time that I've been there. So yeah, fabulous. Really good week all round. Was at the running show yesterday. Great to see and catch up with a few people. And then my biggest mileage week, I think. I don't know if anyone else can let me know how you can find out what your biggest mileage week ever would be. I can't seem to find like anywhere that would record that. But yeah, almost 54 miles for this week. So if you think about last year, probably would have rested a bit more before leading up to this race. So yeah, a big mileage week, finishing very strong with this race. It's 7 weeks now till Cypress half, the big half. So that'll be the next target race. So yeah, really positive. I'm going to end this week on a high. Could have started badly with an injury, but it didn't. And yeah, we pushed through onto week 3. So I hope everyone else's training is going great, and I'll see you all at the end of the following week.